a service of CNC Worldwide.
CNC Podcasts are a service of CNC Worldwide and brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 member companies with business solutions since 1984. Thunderstorms brought severe downpours and hail mainly south of Rochester last night. Livingston and Ontario counties were put under a flash flood warning late Tuesday night to early Wednesday morning. It was a standing room only crowd at Rochester City Hall Tuesday night as city residents sounded off on a proposal from Councilman Adam McFadden to ban the box. The phrase refers to a box on job applications that asks if you've ever been convicted of a felony. Those who check yes don't get hired. McFadden is introducing a resolution to ban employers in the city from including the box on job applications. He says that doesn't stop employers from running background checks or asking during the interview process, but he doesn't like the idea of people trying to go straight and not being able to get a foot in the door. Speakers either liked the plan or they hated it. A woman with a past felony conviction says she filled out more than 400 job applications without landing one. Others said once you've committed a serious crime, you should have to work your way back up. The owners of the Medley Center have pleaded no contest to code violation charges in Arundequoit Town Court. They've been ordered to pay a $100,000 fine within 2 weeks. The plea from Burson Properties means the company doesn't admit guilt, but agrees to pay the fine imposed by a town justice. Burson and managing partner Scott Conjal were charged in March with several violations of town code after the fire marshal found flammable materials stored in the vacant mall while the fire sprinklers were disabled. Fire Marshal Greg Merrick said he did a new inspection this week and found the violations had been corrected. Arundequoit Supervisor Adam Bello says that's what the town was after and he's happy with the result. The attorneys for Burson Properties did not comment after the hearing. A lawsuit brought by Seneca County residents trying to block a casino in Tyre has been thrown out by a state Supreme Court justice. The suit was filed by 57 Tyre residents opposed to Rochester developer Thomas Wilmot's plan for a casino resort just off the thruway in the Finger Lakes. It challenged the town board's amendment of the Tyre zoning code to allow the Wilmorite project. Justice Patrick Falvey ruled the amendment was legal and the plaintiffs had failed to prove their case. Attorneys for those Tyre residents say they'll appeal. Wilmorite is hoping its $350 million project will be one of 4 that gets licensed by the state this year. Rochester police had to shut down North Goodman Street when hundreds of people gathered outside a funeral home ahead of calling hours for a popular musician. Ramon Gonzalez was killed Saturday in a motorcycle accident on Route 104 at Maplewood Park. He was also known as Jadil El Incomparable, a Puerto Rican reggaeton singer who was visiting family in Gates at the time of his death. Hundreds gathered on the street to pay their respects, and about 100 motorcyclists rode to the funeral home from North Clinton Avenue. Their impromptu parade and the crowds forced police to close North Goodman from Clifford Avenue to Norton Street. The Republican candidate for governor has chosen the sheriff of Chemung County as his running mate. Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino says Sheriff Christopher Moss is his pick for lieutenant governor. He calls Moss a reformer and one of New York's best and brightest.
I wanted an Albany outsider as a running mate to help me clean up this state and move it back into the winning column again, and I got one. Make no mistake about it, there's going to be a new sheriff in town in Albany next year.
Moss is a critic of Governor Andrew Cuomo's New York safe gun control law. He is president of the New York State Sheriff's Association. Republicans gather Thursday for their state nominating convention. Our Lady of Mercy High School has received its largest ever single donation, a $5 million gift from alumna Kathleen Bonsignore Walgreen and her husband Cork Walgreen. Officials of the Girls High School in Brighton announced that the gift will go to the school's ongoing capital campaign. It'll be used to create a performing arts center for the 85-year-old Catholic school. The campaign's been going on quietly for about 3 years now. It's now raised $12.5 million towards a $15 million goal. A contractor from Honeoye has been arrested by Livingston County authorities on grand larceny charges after accepting payment for jobs that were never finished, in some cases never started. Livingston County Sheriff Thomas Doherty says they got numerous complaints about 47-year-old Michael Sulkowski. He promised 7 Livingston County residents over a 3-month period that he would do their projects, but he never returned after they paid him. In some cases, he called back with excuses and asked for more money up front to get started. The sheriff's office says he received nearly $6,000 over those 3 months last year. The Livingston County Sheriff's Office says it's also arrested 10 people after a countywide crackdown on welfare cheating. The investigation started after a meeting between Livingston County Social Services officials and sheriff's investigators to locate people who were abusing the system. The various arrests cover abuse including falsifying applications, theft of public assistance checks, and identity theft. The sheriff's office says they amount to more than $12,000 in overpayments. Dredging work has begun at the Port of Rochester to keep the Genesee River accessible for big ships coming in from Lake Ontario. Work began this week by a Michigan firm hired by the Army Corps of Engineers using money obtained by Congresswoman Louise Slaughter. Slaughter managed to get $3.5 million in 2 different federal allocations over the last year to begin and to finish dredging the channel back to navigable depth. Only one big freighter still docks at Rochester, the Stephen B. Roman, which delivers cement to S-Rock Concrete. 7 jurors were chosen Tuesday in the trial of Clayton Whittemore, charged with second-degree murder in the beating death of SUNY Brockport freshman Alexandra Kogut. She was killed in September of 2012 after arguing with Whittemore in her dorm room. Whittemore told 911 dispatchers and police that he had just snapped. More than 100 potential jurors are being interviewed this week. Your next CNC podcast is whenever you click on one of our pages and happen to catch one. We post updates around the day, and I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.